Welcome, guys. Been a while. I've been online. What a day, actually, to be alive, right? The crazy man is flip flopping. Diesel is at all time high, but not too low, right? So let's stick with the charts, and I think that's the best thing. I didn't even have any idea what's going on in the world that people was telling me. Besides that, no clue, and I do not fucking care about it at all. So yeah, let's take what I'm doing the best, I guess, or that's what I'm thinking. Charts and trading. Um, Overall, Wix, he did freaking break it. Finally, we are below, and we are starting to get maybe even lower, but there is small gap above this. So yeah, we could potentially even fill that or retrace in any kind of form of case. That's still fine. But anyhow, we starting to break stuff, and that's good because we didn't regain the 31. What we literally came to the T. We broke the first small structure on 25. That was the aim, and now we are kind of holding on the low. If we're not gonna get below 17, we're gonna grind into that, right? That's just the whole aim for now. We wanted to get as close to 17 or even below, right? We want to break that whole structure. I don't think this is gonna last for a while. That could potentially reverse quite quickly, just depending on all this fucking shenanigans, what's going on in the world, and the war, not war, war, not war, not war, 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 or whatsoever. What they want to do because they are flip flopping all the time, and they're not gonna even do fucking, or they're not gonna pull any fucking triggers because they are scary as fuck in any kind. So for me, this is just gonna or stay here or between the 18 or 20-ish area sideways, and then retrace, or gonna be whole fucking range into the summertime, right? Between the 17 and 31. So yeah, watch it. This is quite important, especially on high time frame. We settling low, that's for sure, but now we need to maintain it and break it, or consistent going lower, right? That's the aim. Now, second good thing about this is that the dollar had a really nice wipe, and we gapped quite heavily into the lows, breaking quite a structure. But we even failed from, oh, we didn't even reach the previous swing failure of 100. Okay, well, yeah, we failed it at 100.1. So yeah, that was a quite nice failure. We are still into the downslope. We are not really looking to fill this gap. That's not really needed so far if we're not gonna be above 99-ish area. But this is good. This is really good for, potential for the market, right? We starting to reverse. We see some potential already movements already from yesterday. Was quite nice. So far, this is good. We want the dollar as fucking dead as possible, right? So let's see how we're gonna carry on. And getting below 98.7 gonna do the trick to send us into the 97, right? That's the support that we potentially might bounce from it quite heavily, or even back at the resistance at 99.9. Let's see how we're gonna deal with it. So far, this is the low that we are breaking, and that's what I want. That's all what kind of needed into the market right now. Now, a small iffy thing. Overall market, unfortunately, it is what it is, and structure matters. We did break the structure on it. So yeah, we did settle a new low, quite heavily even, with the wick quite low into the 683. So yeah, we did break it. You can argue with me that we regained the high of it, but to be consistent in the whole range and structure overall, we need to get above 700, 725. Right, this is the area that we need to regain for this low to be considering as a low, right? We're not gonna continue into that. So far, we are undecided retesting perfectly at 725, and let's see if we're gonna be breaking the stuff below 703. Right? If we're gonna start to break 703, then yeah, we're gonna send it into the lows, right? And we're gonna reverse everything what I just said for Dixie and VIX. So it is what it is, but we had a really nice pump of it. That's good. That's really nice. We are in the resistance area so far. Now we need to regain. So grinding into it would be quite perfectly to get into the highs, regain that, come back, pulling back, and then get at the all-time high. Oh, sorry, not all-time high, but the previous main high that we are failing from, right? Because this is still technically in continuation of the downside. Think about it. So yeah, just remember we did break quite heavily the stuff that we shouldn't break, but we did. And now just because of the market react on all of this flip-flopping, we did send it into the high, so that's good. But yeah, like I said, it is still resistance. Ariston. Gold. Let's have a look at gold. It's been a while for me. We are still up grinding. Yeah, we are still up grinding into the highs. We are at the resistance at low time. Bet that's the 4 hour ish. Yeah, that's a 4 hour hip. We still settling a high, higher high after higher high on it. So yeah, we are a little bit divergent, but we still could push it a little bit more high into the 4.9 and dump from it, or retrace fully. Let's see if that's gonna be the case. But so far, yeah, this is still uptrending till we're gonna break the 4.5, the low of that, right? That's the low that matters right now, just because we are still setting a new high. Yeah. It's something, right? Till we're not gonna regain 4.9. This is still kind of looking more into the downside area. Why? Because technically we do on the oscillation quite the same formation as we've been doing over here. So we're starting to get into the overheated area, right? So let's see how we're gonna be dealing with that. But yeah, this is still at the resistance right now. But overall, good move from the low that we settled. Good move, right? Now we need to hold that and finally regain some stuff. Silver, silver is a little bit behind. Yes, it is still uptrending, but it doesn't regain anything on the higher time frame. So we are quite far away from 81-ish area. So let's see if we're gonna come close to it or even like regaining something. So far, this is uptrending without even some structure to hold us yet. So yeah, let's see how that's gonna be the case. And good thing or not, let's see, still heavy into the highs and um, quite expensive oil, quite drop from definitely 4 hour structure. No, 1 hour. Yeah, see, 1 hour structure over here. We went into the highs, we didn't regain it, even not even close of it, and that was the whole going off the cliff momentum over here with small gap even on low time frame, but don't really care about that. Still, don't forget about that. This is still continuation into the high. Still, we're not gonna break what, the 89-ish. So that's gonna be happening. I'm not sure because we are still quite heavy into the uptrend of it. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna break even the low of 82 of 88-ish. So yeah, this is gonna be for what it is so far, and I think, and I don't want to be the person like that saying that it's gonna happen or something, but like it's weird because this is still doing exact the same thing what we've been doing for ages. Like if you're gonna zoom out, I think this is gonna be the easiest to look at it. Right, this is still like fucking up trending since the lows that we settled from $9, right? Like it, even the area that we broke from 42, right? That heavy shit that we broke over here, that was already regained. So we are not even close to get back at 35-ish area. I don't think that's gonna happening. Especially not with this whole aggressive movement, that it still could even go higher. So what a day to be alive, right? Funny. Yeah, this is what it is. Dominance. Yeah, that's a good one. Dominance. We still didn't fucking break the dominance. Like it's broken, but it still didn't fucking send us into the low. So that still says a lot about Bitcoin and how dominant it is overall in the market, and yeah, how much it's still holding on it. So like even if you look at it on the high time frame, like we are freaking squeezing. Right? This is like extremely hard to get into the squeeze momentum. So yeah, it's something to look for it, but eventually, yeah, we could potentially see the Bitcoin move a little bit more higher, just because we have some oscillation on it. I'm not sure if we should look at it on the dominance, just because that's those numbers shouldn't be accurate on it on a percentage wise, but with the oscillation. But it is what it is. It shows the correlation of it. So yeah, we could potentially go even a little bit more higher. So that says the dominance of Bitcoin might rise into the resistance of 60. So let's see if we're gonna be dealing with that and if we're gonna break it. Why? Just because we have so much sell-off happening from above 60%. So it's something as well to keep an eye on it. But yeah, it's been broken to the downside. We didn't regain it yet, so still continuation. We could potentially send it lower, right? It would be awesome. And who knows, we might even see that happening right now if we're not gonna hold on the 58. Yeah, still something to look out for. Oh, here it's something as well interesting happening. Overall, on the daily time frame, we kind of aiming to see potentially cash flow positive inflow. Still no sign of it, but we started to get close to neutral line, right? So we could, and it looks like we kind of did the same momentum of the cash flow, what we used to have it back in this area over here before we had this whole nuke momentum. So yeah, it looks like we kind of close into the positive one. Let's see how we're gonna be settling that in a couple days. Oscillator is already quite, it was down, and right now we are in middle position, quite a little bit above that. We did have the flip of the capital flow, so good potentially, but now we need to hold it. Every single time we said that, and we've been over the 60% or even above 50%, we are the fucking retracement, right? So I would not be surprised if we're gonna retrace this whole move as well, right? And then we're gonna try to hold anything, and believe me, this is as well the last hold that we gonna have it, and that's around um daily wise it's gonna be iffy if we're gonna reach 67.4 and we're not gonna hold that, right? There is small hip before that, so we have potential anything to hold, but then below that, not much. But yeah, then still, I'm still aiming for the 77.7 area. Right, there's still one more move into it, and we could potentially see that as well happening. We did been dealing with the high time frame liquidity, 150 axis, and already with 20. Right, so there is one more left. Reaching that, we could break the high, and we could get into this hip, and that could potentially bring us quite low, right? Or even into the lows. Why? Because then we're gonna do exact the same movement what we did over here, right? It's technically we are quite similar to it, right? So yeah, I would not be surprised. We're gonna do the exact the same again, and then this structure afterwards, and then back into the bear market where we actually need to be, because I can't wait for that. So that's my personal opinion. But yeah, anyhow, this still looks good for any kind of potential up movement into the highs, but getting close at 69.3 and starts to get a little bit more iffy if we're gonna hold that, yes or no. So yeah. Oh, maybe should cover this as well. Capital flow index. Daily wise, we see already small flips right into the market. So Dixie and VIX starts on a daily fail and quite heavily into the lows of -50. So this is as well something that personally I don't like to see if it goes straight into the 50, because now it's only chance use a small continuation for a couple days and then spike again. So every single market's gonna be down and cry about the bad price action. But yeah, Nasdaq and SPX are already quite high. Overall, crypto market is yeah average, right? It's not something special. ETH is only an outlier, but the rest is still like middling. Weekly wise, not much change, just only on the VIX and Dixie. that got below the neutral line. And that's what I kind of like to see, like slow grind into the lows, not dumping into that and then reverse, right? Because then that's always what's going to happening. So far, getting at below the neutral line is already a start, right? So that's what I would like to see for a continuation. Now, let's talk about Bitty. I'm gonna quickly move on from the high time frame. Face all of this. We had a decent close on March, so that was fine. Now we have a continuation in April. So far, this is the first. I'm talking about March because April is not closed. So this is the first positive close after we had this freaking dump from 114. So happy days, right? I guess. So it could reverse into the hip like this, right? So be aware if we're gonna reach into the 77 or any kind of positioning around 80k, this could potentially play out. And then we have 3 months into the bear market before we're gonna start. So yeah, that's definitely not something that I'm not thinking about. That we could settle. Week close was quite nice, right? We had this freaking low of the weekly, but we closed above it, not even a sneaky close, and now we are continuing into the highs. So yeah, getting above 72, gonna be a regain of the weekly high, and that should potentially bring us in continuation into the February, right? That's what I'm aiming. That's why the whole aim of 77-ish area is the underside retest of February. That's my goal first. The rest I don't care about it. Even I'm not caring about this whole structure yet, till we're not gonna regain February. Otherwise, this doesn't matter yet. So yeah, that's why 77 for me, that's the line in the sand, and that's what I'm still aiming for. Now, overall, 4 hour, still uptrending, right? This is still a really nice hold of the lows that we settled at 66. What was in March, end of March? Yeah, in the beginning, yeah, that was end of March and the weekly open, the previous weekly open. That was a super great one because we did hold on this hip and we just did a perfect retest of the weekly, and from that momentum we send it, right? So yeah, people gonna scream to me like, yeah, because this is a push of the whole side track of the war, and that's 2 weeks of settlement or whatsoever. Like, yeah, I don't care about it. I'm sorry, I do not care. I couldn't care less even. So for me, still, this is uptrending. We did settle a higher high. Even we did break the high of the 71.6, right? So that's already a major one because that's the mid of the range. So I like that. Even if we gonna retrace right now, it's still fine till we're not gonna break anything below 69, right? That weekly open. So yeah, we could potentially get back at the weekly, retest that, and go higher, right? Because we did that whole flip of it, what was quite strong as well. And we did hold on April and Q2. So perfect. So far, holding anything above the April and Q2 and definitely the weekly, then this is still uptrending, right? And then obviously what we're going to deal with is the 74-ish first. That's the resistance before we're going to get at the February, right? So going by the levels, we did regain, or technically the flip of 69. That's great. Now we are aiming for 73.7. That's the resistance and underside retest that didn't been tested yet. So yeah, this is the first test that you need to do before even continuation into the highs of this structure. Okay. So I hope that's quite obvious. And looking at the liquidity as well. Still quite a pocket above us, right? Not much below, just because we have quite heavy fair value gaps below us. And now it starts to get a little bit more sketchy if we start to break April. Breaking April, I'm not sure even March gonna hold us because that March level been already quite heavily tested, even on a daily, right? So that March been already tested, and we see some potential more liquidity to the downside. So yeah, squeezing into that one and getting below March, we could potentially get back at literally even below 62, right? That daily low that we are barely holding it. So yeah, still okay. Potential into the highs of 75. There is a nice pocket. There is start to get a little bit thinner above that. So that's as well another reason that I could see a wick into that. Just do the small test and then dump from it because there is not much below. And that's gonna change only if we gonna start to do any flip of February and start to grind at it and then farm the liquidity to go higher. That's the only reason that I'm thinking we're gonna go higher than that. So far, we are not even there, right? Now, 1 hour is a little bit more in broken structure, right? Yeah, we did break the low from the high that we settled. That's still fine. So let's see if we're gonna have a underside retest and a continuation into the lows, get the fair value gap, and then start to continuing higher up, right, from the weekly. That's the whole area. If we start to lose weekly, then we might deal with the downside a little bit more heavier. So be aware of that. And Jesus, my voice is not even used to it to talk so much. Yeah, so we are still at order block. Yeah, we didn't even kill that one yet, so we still at it. So that deals as a resistance right now if we're not gonna regain the daily, right? That's quite obvious. And on the other side, this is as well on 4 hours, so quite heavily. Like this is 3. I think this is 3 overlapping, and then you have 2 as well overlapping below that. So quite heavily overlapping as a support one. So that could potentially bounce us as well if we're gonna get there. But let's see. So far, we only need to hold on April. That's the main key on it. Right, so that's fine. I need to be careful not to switch different things on. And yeah, that's I think a little bit more on the bitty side. Daily wise, nice regain, so that's fine. We covered that, right? We have already a change of trend, and then the one that we need to flip is 73.7. That's the next area. So yeah, and potentially we could do the retest of the daily as well with the weekly level because that didn't been tested. We blast through it, but we didn't come back for it to retest it. As to me, correct. So yeah, overall, there's not much on the daily that's gonna hold us. That's why, right? Losing the weekly, it could send us quite quickly into the lows of 65, and then break that stuff even. There's not much to hold us. But yeah, so far so good. Let's check the chat before I'm gonna move on. For the overtime, in 2 weeks. 79 in 2 weeks. Why in 2 weeks? Click back to your capital flow. Nope, you're too late. Wait for the next week or rewatch this one. Here it is. You want the weekly or what? Which one do you want? You need to pay. This one is daily. I always keep it on a weekly. But why in 2 weeks? 70, why specific 2 weeks? I never get that. Like, why should something happen in 2 weeks? Yeah, only fans, only pips, yeah, only charts. Absolutely still tested. Yeah, great market. It's a Bitcoin wallet. Yeah. All right, let's move on. I'm gonna keep it on a daily. So here it's gonna be another reason, and this is not something that I make fun, but just to make guys clear, like there is a lot of noise in everything, right? In the news, in like everywhere where you're gonna look around you. and not trade from your strategy, it's going to be always a lot of noise. So here's going to be another reason why I don't even care about anything what's happening in the fucking world. Because if I will care about it, I will not be able to pull off those trades. And it's not something to break, but I just want to mention, right, that there is much more than only trading from noise. Let's start with hype. So as you see, get lots of lines, like always. There is a trade happening from the lows that I've been mentioning as well, from when we've been somewhere over here losing this weekly. I mentioned that we're going to come back at this hip of 34.6, right? And we did. It was a quite nice dip, right, into the low. And we, from that momentum, we've been just blasting through into the resistance. We did already retest it twice, July, and even the underside retest of 39. And I pull a trade on it. So here's as well, right? This is the trade that I pull. This is the entry, and that's from that hip over here. Perfect. I mentioned like that, and that was my strategy as well. That I've been looking at it, and I do not care about anything else, right? So yeah, still for hype, this is great just because we regained the April, right? So we flipped the April, and we are aiming now for July. Now, getting back at 39.4, that's that hip over here gonna send us quite quickly into the 41, because everything to the left it's been tested, and there is not much of a resistance above us, right? There is some order blocks, yeah, definitely, right? There is one already, and on 4 hour as well. But overall, structure-wise, there is not much holding us, right, as a resistance. So yeah, regaining, let's say July and Q3, gonna be quite a nice flip into the 41 that I'm aiming, and that's my next TP. That was my first one on 39, and it's got hit quite nicely as well. Now the second one is on 41. Retracing back at the weekly, I could reload it as well over there, my whole trade. I don't even think we're gonna get back at 36 or even lower, just because of the order block and the structure wise what we're holding on the support. So this is quite perfect hold. Weekly wise, maybe April, and then that should be your next long for it, right? And if I might borrow as well the stupid vapes, like there we have it, right? You don't need the stupid vapes to know that where you're gonna be landing on your support. But yeah, here it is, right? So yeah, that's still freaking great on hype, I guess, if I might say so, like that. So I used to have the trade from here, right? That one been already like working down, and now we are back in the game again with 34. So let's see how high we're gonna get there. So far, quite a nice trade, I might say so. Now, second one is my favorite one is injective. And yes, we lost the low again. And like I said over here as well, I don't care every single low that it's losing it, I long it. So yeah, it's a weight one. I'm still thinking that injective is not down. We're still grinding into the lows. I don't really tend to short it so much, but I do long it, and I did re-long it even on the retest quite nicely. It was really perfect one. Yeah, there it is. That's the current trend that I'm running on it, and it is literally from 2.7 ish area, and that was really nice hold. We had a really nice backtest of that one, and now we are in fucking continuation. All right. Yes, at the resistance, I did delete the line over here because that was as well my profit, a little bit lower, and that was my first TP on it. And yes, this is on the side retest. So yeah, it's a nice free running trade already. Now for me, and this is only personal thing, I would like to hold it on April and then have a continuation, but it could come back into the weekly as well and then do the biggest swing, right? Even if it dips a little bit lower, because injective tends to do that as well. So yeah, this is still starting to look like we might regain stuff and break, or not really changed this character yet, but at least we are starting to break the structure to the upside. That's good, right? And we know that we've been dealing that for so many times already, but let's see if that's going to be the case right now. Just because as well on the daily, we had the flip of the trend, and we kind of looking that we might squeeze into the neutral line of cash flow, right? So that could potentially squeeze us a little bit more higher. So yeah, this is still as well nice one. And like I've been saying, I'm gonna buy even spot or leverage every single thing, every single low on Injective, Hype, AVEX, and Render, and maybe Solana. Liquidity wise, oh shit, I didn't cover that as well on Hype. Yeah. So liquidity wise, we got the highest one already, like most of the highest one. There is small gaps, so yeah, potentially a reversal will be fine on it. But there is quite a lot as well above it on, let's say, low liquidity, as in sorry, liquidity leverage, like 20-ish, and mixed up a little bit with 50 and 100 ones. So yeah, potentially if we're gonna get in August or above July, that could be could be a no-brainer that we're gonna get there, right? And much more less to the downside. So upside is still much more appealing for now. And on Injective, we do have a really thick pocket above us, right? So like I've been saying, coming back at weekly. So yeah, we have two high time frames over here, so we could wick into that one. There is not much like we dealing right now till the new daily is gonna open up. So we're gonna start to fill up this whole gap in front and above us. So let's see. But there is quite a lot of liquidity above us, and it lines up quite nicely with the whole swing levels on 4 and 1 hour ish, and that's as well meaning with the resistance above us. So yeah, and there is below only 2.6 something happening, and that's quite low at the wick, the whole wick, but we settle with some gaps in between. So yeah, I'm not that scared about it that we're gonna reach the lows, or we're gonna dip a little bit more lower with that one. Now another one, AVEX, quite perfect one as well, 0.6, so perfect low over here, right? The low that we don't want to lose technically, and the wick went quite low into this 8.3 even. So yeah, really nice long on that one from literally the weekly open, a retest, the second retest of that one. There was a quite harsh dump on it, so I wasn't sure if we really gonna blast through it. But yeah, it shows some strength on it, and everything played out quite nicely. And now it's in quite nice win already. Unfortunately, we do have a major fair value gap into the weekly open. There is not much below the previous weekly already, what we flipped, right? Losing the 9.09 could blast a little bit lower, and then I'm going to be certain we're not going to hold that one, right? We're going to dip a little bit more lower. So yeah, AVEX support, it's a little bit iffy for now till we're not going to hold at least at Q2, right? So that's going to be 8.88, right? But yeah, it's a good recovery. Now we need to make sure we're going to keep up with it. And there is much more liquidity above us if we're going to reach above 9.7, right? There is a small gap in, or dead zone, if you can call it, as well, a little bit more higher up. So we need to farm liquidity. So that's going to be the case what we're going to dealing with now in a couple of days. We're going to do something like this maybe, right? And then we're going to start to pick up on liquidity. So let's see. But yeah, there is a nice pocket around 10. And that's my next TP level, because the one that I just had was here, 9.5. That was my TP. And the set retest of this whole structure and resistance. What we technically already did for the second time. So yeah. And now last and not least, Solana, same thing. Same pocket, same low, and literally like to the T. Same thing what we had it over here, right? That low, that was really nice. And now we did it as well for the second time, and we did hold it. So yeah, perfect trade. been pulled out on it. TP been already taken. The next one is going to be around 90.8-ish. Just a little bit more above this whole pocket over here. But Solana start finally show some strength and recover, right? So we did regain both of the structures that we came from. We did settle a low with a support on it, so that's good. Now we need to have a continuation in it. And that sounds as well same as for AVAX. Right? Like if we're gonna dip below weekly, we need to grab only the leverage one and then blast through it. Just because I don't want to get back anymore up below 80 point-ish area, like below this. You start to get in this support and you start to lose it, then there's nothing else that's gonna hold you. And that's the worry thing about it, because the wick on Solana is at 67. Depends what you want to call worry. If you want to have a cheap Solana, then there it is, right? Because so far, this has been tested, this is tested, this is tested, and this is tested. Only thing that's not tested is this 80 area over here. Getting back at that, losing that, end it. Right? I'm going to be happy because that's going to be a cheap Solana, but I think not everyone is going to be happy about it. But then to the flip side, yes, there is much more to the upside to grab, right? Well, liquidity and leverage one, yeah, it is. But there is as well quite a lot of resistance, right? We have two overlapping big resistance pockets above us. First one is at 90. Second one is at 94. So dealing with that's going to be quite trouble. We are not really changing character yet on it. We do starting to break the first structure, right? Let's see if we're going to hold it. And that's as well for injective and apex. Hype is a little more in different pocket on it. Same thing for render. Render is in totally different pocket because that one been already in a change of character from long ass, and this is already in uptrending into the highest resistance point 2.7. So render, it did already almost 70% of the movement, if not more, right? So yeah, render is a little bit more different pace on it. I was a little bit more too late. I really wanted to get on the render as well, but I was too late. I was in the meeting, and when I got off the meeting, then we've been already somewhere over here, and I didn't bother to get the trade anymore. So it wasn't any appealing for me. So yeah, most of the times the render is skipping me. Yeah, it's fine. It's what it is. But yeah, this is still in a whole uptrend move, and we did break the high time frame structure on it. So yeah, for render, just only holding on the daily, that's already shows you the strength and the difference of the token. Right, most tokens already from my list, Injective, Avex, and Solana, are trading below the daily, and it's already in a broken structure to the downside. When render is holding the daily, the structure, and starting to look that we might even go higher up, even if there is no liquidity to grab. So yeah, this is freaking strong. Right. So yeah, I really like the project. I am on spot. Not that heavy that I want to be in it, but hey, there's gonna be maybe another momentum to buy for it, but I'm happy with it overall. So yeah, so far so good. Yesterday was a really nice green day, and today we might see some small rebound from it. Let's see. So okay, so 4 hours holding. When 1 hour did break, 4 hours is still holding. That's why 4 hours is kind of the key. Either way, we are trading below daily. That's fine, but we do hold on the low to be settled beginning of today with quite heavy liquidity grab below us, above us. So yeah, we could grind it, right? We could hold that, grind it, and then pass through it when we stack some liquidity. But yeah, we're still holding on 4 hours, so that's good. Getting below and closing now anything below 71, then yeah, we're gonna get back at the weekly open. Retest of that at least. So yeah, that's been me and yapping about some shitties. Anything from you guys that you want to have a look on it? Mm, only shards, very niche community. That one, yeah, only shards. That's a good one actually. Bipolar for me, for my taste. Boy, uh, it's one day, one day, one day in HB, you will understand it. You forget about Netflix. Now I didn't forget about that. Don't worry. Uh, uh yeah, yeah, it's up trending. It did regain. But here is another thing, right? This is something that I'm as well quite happy about it. And yes, there is some earnings coming in, right? But that's still like days for playing it out. But they could do this can be in two scenarios, or they're gonna run it up and then dump it on the earnings, right? Or after earnings happens quite a lot. But over here already, you see that we are in quite heavy divergence. So yeah, sooner or later this will come down. And overall, like, yeah, I couldn't care less. I did my part on it by shorting this shenanigans. Okay, if I'm not gonna get my along with it, like, I'm not gonna sleep less about it. I will do rethink to reshort it again, but let's see how that's gonna be dealing. But I mean, the thing is that I heard and was reading about it, that there is a lot of subscription cancellation on Netflix. So, but still, there are not really like numbers coming in from it. So, like, people are saying like there's a lot, right? There's a lot of miss opportunities or whatsoever from Netflix, and that people are canceling just because of their price and everything. So yeah, but there is not really like real data coming, like how much came in and how much did cancel or renew or whatsoever. Or at least I couldn't find it, and I didn't bother to look at it maybe that much. But yeah, this is still like, yeah, if it's gonna be here, like, fine, I will pull along on it. But so far, I don't care. I don't care literally about this, just because this is odd structure above everything. Like, yeah, we set technically right now is support on 90, but that's all with a fucking major fair value gap and gap even. So yeah, same thing what we did over here, right? So yeah, if we're continuing, that's, yeah, could be. But then still, what's the resistance area? First thing first, this is your first resistance, right? And then you have a major one here. So yeah, sooner or later it's gonna retrace. But yeah, like, I seriously couldn't care less. Like, I do have my alerts set up on it and my orders. So if it's gonna be triggered, it's gonna be triggered. And I don't bother to look at it like daily or something, because that takes fucking ages. It took like, how long did this took? 120 days, 122 days. Jesus Christ. Fuck my life for what? Wait, that was like 40%. Fuck my life. uh, just give me some time. Yeah, you still need to allow to learn. Silver, you said. Silver, silver, silver. Yeah, it still does. Yeah, I mean, it does look interesting, because it still can do 10% into the first resistance, right? So yeah, we are in the uptrending structure, but it's just an uptrending structure without setting a proper low, right? So the only thing what we had is, and that wasn't even like a V bottom. So only thing that's still holding is this. That's all, right? So yeah, this hip over here, that's your first resistance. If you break out of it, potentially coming into the highs of 82, you don't need to regain it in the first case. coming back and holding, then yeah, you're gonna do some major stuff on it. But then still, and this is the case of silver because it's a little bit different than gold. Silver is still downtrending, right? Because this is the high, this is the low, and this is your lower low. So we are still downtrending. Still not gonna break out of 94, right? And you're gonna do the change of character on it. But then till gold, it's not gonna break out of at least the 5K area. Silver and gold gonna stay in this range for a while. Thank you finish and you will get information. Yeah, but that's why I said, like, I understand that there is an sort of calculation, but for me, like, I'm I'm always skeptical about it, how accurate it is. Yeah, yeah, I understand that. Yeah, I got that, but then like, yeah, fine that like I'm certain about it that they have a way of putting in the reports the way that it's gonna be looking good for them and not like, okay, those are the most accurate numbers, and yes, like we lost, like, for example, 1 million of people, right, or something like that. Like, I'm not certain about it. I have a feeling that there is some things going on with it, with those subscriptions and the way that they are spread or like renew or whatsoever. Yeah, I guess we're not. Yeah, exactly. Dating and hold blonde. That's education Bible. Sure. Oh. I don't think Daniela is blonde, right? Let's be. Mine was. So, yeah. But yeah, that's the whole thing. Like I for me as well. Like I'm not really big on things like, yeah, if I should follow something just because of the subscriptions, yes or no. Right? It's more like, what's the value of the whole product? Good IRL. Oh, seriously? In the summer? Really? Okay. Oh yeah. Anyhow, um, there is as well this bullshit that I don't like. That I've been pointing out that will break out for fuck's sake just because we did settle the low or higher low actually. So yeah, this is still in the continuation, pissing me off. And just because of that, I cannot build my fucking server that I want to. I mean, I could build, but I fucking spending like fucking bank money. It's another point of it. Yeah, exactly. That's why I look at the cash flow. Yeah, yeah. You are not wrong. Yeah. So yeah, but good stuff. Good stuff overall. Overall, do we have any shitties, guys? What are you guys looking at? Is there anything to meme about it? It's been a while for me. It's been a while that I've been shorting the shit out of something. Oh, mm, when this is gonna fucking die? Like, okay, guys, I've been this. This is quite freaking nice. Like how accurate it did get into the freaking 0.6. It's crazy. And now, where are you trading? Like, if you say that this is fucking bullish, like, oh boy, let me just make show you something. Like, this is your fucking resistance. And where are you? You're below that. So to get through all of that shit, ooh, ooh boy, ooh boy. And then yeah, February is your tip of the whole scenario. Is there anything else? Jesus, it's been a while. Oh, this been blasting. At the resistant. It didn't regain yet. Wait, what? Yeah, we did lose that. Yeah. Okay, regain, hold. Now it's a matter of holding 251. Yes or no? Oh, wait, why? Where is this? I can... Fuck yeah. Here we are. Come again. And we're failing. Once more, the fucking lows. Oh my god. Wait, did it reach 4.5? What's that? Yeah, getting there. Almost filling the whole week. We won. Jesus. Do we? Nope. Oh. Good. I was too late to mute my mic. Sorry, guys. Um, mm, mm. You- Oh, oh, nice. Did it? It didn't close. No. Holy fuck! That's one of the neat. Barely, but it did hold it. So neat. Cool, 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 cool. Looking for you. She's not actually for me. Bless for a disaster. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just find my screener. Don't know what's to. The fuck is CLUSD? This like Alex what? Oh. Can you flip this? This chart of your eagle? DZ doing the push ups? What do you mean? Is he literally doing push ups or what? I have no clue what it is, Orca, but it's still technically an uptrending and it did break his prior high. It's holding on the low, so yeah, I mean, fine with that. It did break a small structure over here and we are below April, so that's a little bit iffy. But the only thing that matters right now and only for this shit is to hold this. And to be honest with you, I will even go like that. See, that flip over here. Perfect. Yeah, invert scale. Can you do that? But what does it say on your screener? Does it look good or bad? Because this is, it's. If if a coin by the launch, right? Like this is all bullshit. This is the first dump, and it's gonna technically do exact the same thing already 3 times. Like, bro, stop. Like this fucking. Lagging and open interest is all. Can I say? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I bet that the interest on that one is quite high. There is like, yeah, no data, nothing yet on it. It's brand new and it's just grabbing the whole fucking stops every single time it grinds up. So yeah, I can already prepare you the whole fucking new chart of it. So it's gonna be like that. Yeah. Even already regaining the high. Yeah. I have no clue what it is. Yeah. And it's only on. Does it have something to do with oil? Because why is oil coming up? Don't tell me that's the tokenized oil. Been already on Blowfin. Chart. Yes. They're holding through the weekend. Plastic through, freaking running the highs and dumping. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, fuck. I fucked up. Let's see if we're gonna flip daily. Now it looks better. Telling the BC bottom price level. He close 50 or noobs. Oh yeah, Mister who did fucking Google that shit. Yeah, that could be. That's why I said because the oil came up as well with it. So could be. But if that's fucking oil, or if that's already beginning of uh, yeah, yeah, it could be in max. Yeah, yeah, I saw that one on the list. I've been going through all the tickets. That chart is janky as fuck. But yeah, have fun. Mm, mm, mm. Oops. Okay, boomer. Fucking hell. Based on yeah, that's the best one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Really they should take away his fucking phone and laptops and every single thing. He shouldn't be allowed on fucking social media. That bloke is so fucking disrespectful to everyone and even to his own fucking people. But hey, who am I, right? Apparently he's the greatest one. I think what he's doing. But yeah, I think that's all. Not much for me to yap about it yet. And yeah, those are the things I'm looking at. And by all means, have fun. If you want to trade them, then those are the levels for it. When are you in Apex? How is the... Wait, let me check the different trading view. How is the squeeze potential on that one? Yeah. Ooh. We do almost squeeze. Ooh. That could be... Yeah, that could be for a short. That retest, come back. Could be for a short. Alabama Bar. Cool. All right. I think that's all for me. If there are no questions and everything is fine, then happy trading and guys, by all means, do yourself a favor and start trading charts and no, not fucking news. But yeah, thank you very much, and I will see you on the next Sunday. I think so, if I'm not gonna be too busy. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a Sunday stream still. Have a good one, enjoy, and see you on the flip side.